Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zam Slays, and welcome to episode 94. I hope you're well. I hope you had a good week. Been 1 week since Halloween. Much to discuss. Much got dropped over the last week or so. Lots to do, lots to discuss. But let's get right into it, man. King Mark, I hope you're well. Welcome on in, my friend. How are you? So, before we get into the nitty-gritty of things, clocks got pushed back an hour, so everybody's fucking all weirded out with the schedules and shit like that. I know a couple people are taking it pretty fucking rough, so huge shout out to daylight savings, for real. But without further ado, let's fucking get into it. So cold right now, bro. Jeep ain't no, dude. See, what's crazy too, right? Is pause before we get into it. New England weather is already pretty up and down as it is, right? And it's been like 70s over here in New England and in Massachusetts, and it's like, dude, it's like really up and down. Just because like the way my room is set up, it's like so high up in the air, and like at such a high floor, so my shit gets real cold when it's cold outside and real hot when it's hot outside. So like those random 75s in the middle of fucking November is like some real ass cheeks. But today it's a bit more chilly and my hands are fucking freezing, so I don't know. I don't want to complain too much just because it is what it is, but holy shit. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Exactly. It's been solid 40 here the last month. Yeah, no, it's like this weird up and down, and I'm like, dude, please stop. It's like 50, 60 for November, like, okay. But like you start pushing like 75 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of November, it's like, yo, what the fuck is going on in here? Because, like I said, we're like used to the up and down crazy weather, but to have it like that bad, it's like, dude, come on, man. But other than that, we're chilling. We're good. Let's hop into some updates. Let's talk about what happened over the last week. Give you guys some content updates, and we'll get started. So, Music Mondays episode 93 is available everywhere. Is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, and it is available on all audio platforms wherever you listen to podcasts. If you take us on the go and you're one of those people that do listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and wherever else, thank you. I appreciate it. You definitely support us, and even if you just check out the YouTube channel, that's a huge help as well. And of course, huge shout out to all the artists that submitted last week. Also, sidebar, we finally hit 70 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Finally hit the 70, man. Like, I was saying that for like a month straight. I was like, yo, we're pushing to 70. We're pushing to 70. So, huge shout out to anybody that held it down, subscribed early, or if you're a new subscriber to the Music Mondays YouTube channel, I appreciate it. Huge shout out to 70 subs, man. Next goal, 80 subs, of course. Lots of good content on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, man. Tutorials, guides, rants, all podcast episodes, Cyberfest, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of good stuff going down on the channel, man. So go show the channel some love. Common Music Mondays W. I agree, my friend. I agree. Something that is pretty major that we definitely got to discuss is In Case You Missed It Monthly. So In Case You Missed It Monthly was a written piece that I was talking about for the last couple of weeks or so, but it finally dropped this past Friday. So you can definitely go check that out on the Music Mondays homepage. Go to our brand new news and check that out. That's it. Like, In Case You Missed It Monthly was as much of a success as I really wanted it to be. The community really received it well. Everybody really enjoyed it, and everybody that was involved and got selected did a really good job. In case you missed it, monthly is more so of a it's a written piece, but it's a short written piece combined with graphics, and we're able to show off some of our staff members' work, and we're able to give the writers a chance to talk about some music that they really enjoy while putting on for artists that you probably haven't heard of. So, in case you missed it, monthly will be a monthly written piece with graphics, and you'll see it all over our socials. It'll be in the news tab, which is brand new on the Music Mondays website at allmusicmondays.com. So, yeah, huge shout out to Ivica Glass. They absolutely killed this article. We'll be coming out with the November edition later this month, probably towards the end. And I hope you guys enjoy, man. But yeah, the community definitely received it very well. And in case you missed it, monthly is just a bit different than weekly content. That's definitely a monthly piece that we want to present in a really good way. And of course, we're still working out kinks and small stuff, but for the most part, in case you missed it, monthly was definitely a success. So huge shout out to Ivica and everybody that supported that. SoundCloud Sunday, volume 55 is available on our SoundCloud, curated by myself, Waterfalls, and Ivica Glass again. But this week's SoundCloud Sunday playlist was accompanied by a wonderful cover created and illustrated by Con Binny, our new staff designer here at Music Mondays. So make sure you go show the whole staff team some love, man. We all had a really big hand in SoundCloud Sunday this week. And it's definitely just another great addition. Like, we're slowly creeping up to being like the number one playlist for not only SoundCloud, but somebody said in the chat the other day, the staff room chat, that they forget it's Sunday until fucking SoundCloud Sunday drops. And it's true, you know what I mean? Like, usually Sundays are pretty chill and this, that, and the third. So SoundCloud Sunday is like a really good way to like just give somebody just a really good opportunity and really give other people, really like a nice chunk of music to listen to. So SoundCloud Sundays is really, really fucking killing it lately. So if you haven't listened to volume 55, go check that out. Huge shout out to everybody that was involved in volume 55. And of course, if you're interested in submitting to SoundCloud Sunday and you don't know how to submit to SoundCloud Sunday, submissions open every Wednesday. And you basically have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, about like 4 or so days to submit. I've been playing around with the idea of opening submissions earlier for SoundCloud Sunday, but that's not something concrete yet. But per usual, submissions open every Wednesday. So if you're ever interested in SoundCloud Sunday, make sure you check our socials, wherever you use socials, and submit your tracks via Twitter. Cole Gerard, what's good, homie? Welcome. I hope you're well, my friend. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. So, the foundation competition. That is something I spoke a little bit about last week. We have a brand new YouTube upload live right now on the Music Mondays channel. That was a segment where last week I pretty much explained the foundation competition, which in short is a collaboration competition with our staff designer and producer Sunset. Sunset created an album and a free loop kit for producers to remix instrumentals and for artists to use those remixes and for us to judge them here live on the Music Mondays podcast. So the producer segment is just about a week away. We'll be judging all instrumentals here live on the show. Me and Sunset will be here. Sunset will join me, and we'll go through all instrumental submissions, and then we'll essentially move it on to the next week, and vocalists will have a week to use said instrumentals that producers remixed, or they can just use one of the beats and send those in. And then we'll be doing another judging on the podcast. So it'll be the 14th and the 21st will be all judging shows, and then the 28th we'll be selecting a winner for the foundation competition. You'll have your track hosted by Music Mondays. You'll have a full promo set, including a custom cover by our staff team, full promo across all socials, and a little bit of other goodies that we'll come up with along the way. So the foundation competition is really just something for the community. something we really wanted to test the waters out and really give a chance for people to come together and really experiment with shit when, oftentimes they just can't or usually don't, or they don't have a real easy way to collab. This way, if you're a vocalist, you can select one of the instrumentals that the producers remix, or if you're a producer, you can work with a vocalist here that's looking for an instrumental to get involved in the foundation competition. So if you'd like more information on that, definitely check our socials at All Music Mondays, contact Music Mondays, or contact myself or Sunset if you'd like more information, and join our motherfucking Discord. That's the quickest, fastest, and easiest way to get all your information on the foundation competition and much more in the Music Mondays community. So, lots going on, man. Lots fucking going on. Everything has been swell. We're looking to hire and add a couple more staff members to our team. Possibly another writer. We have a couple more events to finish out the year. Potential business deals on the table for Music Mondays. But the train will always keep steady. Pretty much, one main thing that we're working on for December is the Music Mondays Awards. And until we have more concrete information on that, this month of November will be spent with our usual content, like new pieces in case you missed it monthly. Ivica will be dropping a audio interview on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. We'll be doing another volume of Underground Classics, Dose of Daybreak, Feature Friday, and Workshop Wednesday. So all those monthly series will be getting another episode this month, and then December we'll be rolling into the Music Mondays Awards. So that's what the end of the year is really looking like for Music Mondays. We have a whole bunch of regular segmented content coming out this month, and then in December the Music Mondays Awards, which will be a really fun event for everybody, will be taking place here on the Music Mondays podcast. And of course we just won't take submissions that week. We'll announce pretty much it's not going to be anything that holds like a lot of standard, right? Like, it'll hold standard in the Music Mondays community, but it's just more so a way to give recognition to people that the staff team, myself, and the community really thinks that made a lot of progress this year, worked their fucking ass off, improved the most. People that just went above and beyond. Like, we're gonna recognize a lot of shit and really go through 2022 and really see who put in fucking work this year. Because I'll go back all the way to fucking January to like episode 50, bro. So that's definitely what we're gonna do, and really give you guys a cool little just something to look forward to and look back on, and that's something we're gonna be doing every year. So get excited for that. That's gonna be cool. That's about it. Like I said, that's what the end of the year looks like for the show. We really fucking killed it this year, and of course I'll talk more in detail about that later on. But Music Mondays had a really, really good year, and we're gonna talk about a lot of things at the Music Mondays Award Show, and really give you guys a real killer end of the year, to be honest with you. So, it's time for our usual segment. Come on, man. I don't got to tell you guys. I don't got to tell you guys shit. You guys know. But if you don't, it's reaction and review time. If you're interested in submitting to the Music Mondays podcast, this is how you do it. They'll be accepted through Twitter. We curate through Twitter for a couple of reasons: to keep the show free flow, help grow the platform, and help pay respect to the people that do submit every week and do already support the Music Mondays podcast. And like I said, and usually say, we never will take any cash for submissions from artists, for any playlists or articles or things like that. So the only thing that we do ask is that you are following the Music Mondays homepage, if you're ever interested in submitting to the show. Now, submissions will open every Tuesday following the show. So if you're watching live, today is Monday, November 7th. If you're watching anytime on YouTube, submissions are probably already open. But They'll read the same format every week. Artists and creatives submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 11/7/22 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/plays. If you'd like to submit your artwork, fashion, music, digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. Art forums, art, welcome. So, contrary to our name, we've reacted to and reviewed pretty much everything under the sun here on the Music Mondays podcast. From music to artwork, fashion, digital creating, paintings, writing, visuals, music videos, you name it, we've probably reacted and reviewed it. And the reason for that is usually I come from a space where um we always stuck to the music, right? And we always made sure that we were just like a music centered platform, no matter where I was working or putting my work in or what team I was a part of. But why Music Mondays is different is because I realized when I started Music Mondays, and something that was inherently obvious to me is that the scene in 2022, the underground scene, the independent musician scene, is very centered around doing multiple things. Like a lot of people are very, very talented at a lot of stuff, not just making music, right? A lot of people are talented at production and make music. A lot of people are talented at art and make music. A lot of people are really, really good engineers and also make music. Um, a lot of people, edit music videos. A lot of people take photos. A lot of people do illustrations and real paintings. Like, there's a lot of art forms behind other artists. So that's why we do consider all forms of underground and independent art, is because a lot of artists do have, multiple forms of ways to create. So we do want to recognize all of those, and it really just brings the community together in a tighter way, right? Because we're all essentially doing the same thing. We're all independent creators. We're all underground. So it's all good to just bunch it together because I don't personally see any difference with it. Especially when they all really wash each other's hands, right? Like cover artists always help, producers always help, engineers, editors, directors, filmers, like you name it, like all of them have a hand in genuine creation. So that's why we do, um, you know, really keep everybody together. So if you're wondering, that's why. But yeah, that's pretty much that, chat. If you're ever interested, like I said, submissions open every Tuesday following the show. And like I always say, the only thing that we do ask, since we will never take payment for any submission, just follow the Music Money's homepage, help the community grow, tell your friends about us, submit your work. Um, and the majority of you guys know, and like I always say, Music Monday's forms of revenue are slowly becoming more and more standard, and we're always looking for ways to become a better company while serving the community free, genuine content. And that'll never change. You know what I mean? That's just how it'll always be. So if you're ever interested in supporting the channel or Music Mondays or myself, feel free to support our Twitch, support our YouTube channel, support our podcast on Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. Feel free to show us love there if you're ever interested in supporting the show. Because the majority of that goes to improving the setup, improving events, helping out staff members. It just makes the platform better. So if you're ever interested in that, feel free. But you're never obligated. And as well, that's pretty much why we ask you to help grow the platform, because you know, we're killing it out here, man. That's fucking right, baby. So that's that. We can hop right into this, man. We can go. And I did take a little peep at what we have for tonight, and we have quite the lineup, I will say. A couple of different media submissions, a lot of audio, um, but a great lineup nonetheless. So first up, we got the homie Absono, and Absono has just been fucking smashing shit, like up and down. Absono's been killing it with his submissions recently, and for those of you who don't know, Absono's one of those kind of producers that I'll always have a lot of respect for. As I always say, just because Absono really cares about their brand and really cares about growing as a producer and an artist, not just worrying about placements and things like that. So Absono's definitely a solid producer in that right. but they submitted an unreleased exclusive track titled Fuckboy. Damn. And it's tagged Rage. 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Exclusive unreleased episode. Let's check this out. Okay. Damn. 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 Okay. So, this is another really great standard Absolno track. I will say. Like, this is one of those, yo, you make beats? Let me hear one. And this is what you show them? 100%. So, let's break this down. We're going to talk about two things, obviously, because no vocals. We're going to talk about the instrumental and talk about the overall theme. Oh, fuck boy. So, right off rip, something you immediately take note of is the melody. This instrumental starts off really, really hot, but keeps up the pace and has a nice breakdown just about halfway through. And I think that's a really, really great addition to a track like this that's so loud and so like rough and in your face and very like on go. It's a very fast track. So having it break down right here was definitely a plus. With that said, though, the mix is very, very solid. That's something you can always expect from Absolno's end. Absolno's only getting better and better with everything. More and more crisp. But in this case in particular, mix was very solid. Um, I'd say shining star for me has got to be the melody. It's a very it is tagged rage, so it's a very rage influence kind of melody, but it almost has this like kind of pop vibe a little bit. Has like a slight kind of pop vibe that makes you almost want to like dance and like vibe out and shit. So melody's definitely shining star here for me. Sound selection is great, backed up by a great drum selection. The length is really good as well. It's at a consumable length. So if you were to go release this as a single or on its own, it'd totally be digestible for the listener. All in all, like I said, this is a great kind of cover track for Epsono. This is another one where, somebody hits you up in the DM or somebody, approaches you on the street, you're at a party. Yo, you make music? Oh, da da da, show me. And you show them this. This is the type of shit that's gonna be like, it makes people understand quickly. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it takes a minute for people to appreciate art. So if you can show them like a real staple, quick cover of your work, you're like, okay, You know what I mean? And then they get pulled in and they start digging and find more shit that they like, and it truly just goes from there. So it's a great standard track. Let's talk a little bit about the theme though. So exclusive on release Epsono. Obviously no cover, but it's accompanied by the Epsono logo. We always love. Fuckboy, it definitely kind of brings that like rage kind of main fight scene, kind of like back for revenge kind of vibe slightly, right? So when you title a track like this Fuckboy, it's sort of like okay, like you get the attitude, you get the swag, you get the sort of pizzazz, right? And you're like, all right, I get it. Sort of like that's almost like where I got like the little bit of pop vibe, but at the same time, it definitely kept on the like alternative trap sort of rage direction for sure. Um, so well done theme, 100%. Um, huge shout out to Absono. Thank you for the submission, homie. And Absono actually hit motherfucking 30 followers on fucking SoundCloud, man. Let's go. That's what I like to see. They are now 9 away from 40. So if you're interested in Absono's work, go show him some love. Of course, make sure you follow Prod Absono on Twitter at Prod Absono. 6 away from 360 followers on there. That is a definite good milestone. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And if you didn't hear me at the beginning of the motherfucking show, huge shout out to everybody that's been subscribing to the channel. We finally hit 70 subscribers. You don't have to listen to me say that anymore. God damn, but now we're gonna start talking about 80 subs, so that's okay. You guys know what's up. But yeah, man, thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. I thank you, the staff thanks you. And I hope you guys enjoy the content that we have coming up, man. Lots of good stuff on there. And like I said, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode of Music Mondays is available in the description of the YouTube re-upload. So if you hear the show, you're somebody's girlfriend, you're somebody's parent, you're like, damn, where do I find this music? Check the motherfucking description. Check that shit. Um, yeah, and subscribe. We're on the road to fucking 80 subs now. So huge shout out to everybody that already has. And if you haven't, go show the channel some love. We upload 2 times a week. Up next, we got the homie Thomas Marcus. Thomas has definitely been smashing shit lately, especially when it comes to um their overall production expansion and some of their cover art and a lot of things that Thomas has been doing has been really, really dope. And Thomas is much like Epsono in the aspect that um, you know, they're a producer that really treats himself like a prod and really takes care of their instrumentals and really makes sure that they treat themselves like an artist and really go above and beyond to actually feel like an artist and push themselves and push their platform and really just be yourself, to be honest with you. And that's what I like to see. But this week they submitted a track titled Past Is Now. This is nuts. This is nuts. This is like last week's cover where I was like, yo, this is fucking cooked. Yeah, no immediate thoughts on that because it is so extravagant, so I would like to hear what the track sounds like and then we'll come back to the cover art. But Thomas Marcus passes now. Get it. Yeah, this definitely hits on that Amy level for sure. This is nice. 224. Ambient. Very. And it's also tagged ambient. This was great. You know, a shit like this is so underappreciated. Um, it's like, you know, for one, I definitely understand the cover now. But I'll get into it. So let's break this down here. We're gonna talk about two things because obviously no vocals. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Past Is Now. So right off rip, it's a very bare bones track, but much to Thomas Marcus kind of style, we have um you know, just this theatrical kind of wide massive track, right? Super bare bones, but the track is so filled, and that's something that Thomas is an expert at, you know what I mean? Like time and time again we've seen tracks from Thomas where, you know, they haven't had a ton of um you know, sound selections and real structure variety, but what is there is so big and so wide that it's like, wow, this is like straight like a musical piece, you know what I mean? Like almost instrumentals that are too good for people. And that's you know, an attitude I really always had with Thomas. I've always found that to be the case. So the instrumental itself is great, especially for what it is. You know, the structure was definitely perfect, and especially for the length of this track, right? Like 224, the structure kept it simple, but much like the previous track with Episono, we had a real digestible kind of track here. So yeah, very very ambient. So much like Mark said in the chat, um it definitely fits the bill. It definitely fits the bill. Very dreamlike, very alternative. And the mix is absolutely on point as well. Like this is definitely another example of like why Thomas's tracks are so wide and theatrical and very almost like movie like, is because the mixes are so crisp. You know what I mean? Especially with the melodies and the instruments used. Thomas definitely is one of those producers that has a real good handle on their mix for sure. So for what it is, this track is excellent, especially for this kind of style. Because like I said at the start, this sort of style is almost underappreciated. Some people really do enjoy it, right? Like there is like a whole ambient, um, ethereal kind of, you know, cloud community. But at the same time, you know, I feel like a lot of this definitely needs more love for sure. So I love this kind of style, 100%. Now let's talk a little bit about the theme here. You know, again, much like Mar said in chat, cover art fits super well. See, because at the start, I didn't really want to speak too much on the cover art because sometimes you just got to hear the track first, right, to understand the vision. And this is perfect, you know what I mean? Like, this wasn't crazy, this wasn't extravagant, this wasn't dance, this wasn't like over the top. Like, this was perfect. Like, literally a soundtrack to an illustration like this, without a doubt. Something peaceful and serene and very like, you know, almost like dreamlike. So cover fits extremely well. Is well done. Of course, you slapped Thomas Marcus logo on there. Good to go. So aesthetically, this was great. Passes Now. I love the title of this, and just because it does feel like one of those dreamlike, think about the past, looking ahead kind of vibes. So I do feel like this theme was very, very on point, and you can definitely see the vision here, without a single word spoken, right? And that's what I love about producers that do treat themselves like artists, right? Because they are artists. So when producers go above and beyond to really have themes and concepts and really push their tracks, I feel like this is what you get, and you have a really really good result. So huge shout out to Thomas Marcus. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much motherfucking love. Thomas is currently at 160 on SoundCloud, 10 away from 170. It's a good milestone. Go show Thomas some love if you're interested in their tracks. Make sure you follow Thomas Marcus 075 on Twitter. Thomas is 2 away from 30 followers. Another fire milestone. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And we are on the road to 80 subscribers now. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. We upload 2 times a week, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel, man. So go show the channel and these artists some love. Ivica, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're well. So, continuing on, we've had 2 excellent producers so far really, really come through. But this next submission is actually a written submission by none other than Bloodcat. And I'll be coming back to this towards the end with another media submission that we do have. So we'll get through audio like usual, and then we'll wrap back around to all the media, such as visuals, videos, writing, things like that. So, Bloodcat, we'll be returning. We'll be returning. Because I do know that we have another visual down here by the homie Offspring. So we'll do those 2 after we bang out the rest of these audio submissions. So, after that, we've had Absono, Thomas, Bloodcat will wrap back around to King Mark. King motherfucking Mark. Now, of course, Mark is always in the chat, supporting the stream like a god. Thank you very much, my friend. But of course, Mark is another essential member of the Underground and Music Mondays community, more specifically. Mark really works their ass off. Like if I'm being completely honest, Mark has been killing it this year. But Mark is also just a really, really good energy to have around the community. Always active, always supportive. And you guys are probably familiar with King Mark by now in the Music Mondays podcast, right? But if not, you're about to be. Mark dropped a track titled Telepathy, and the caption reads, "Obligatory, this is dropping. End of September. Stay on the lookout." Fuck that Mark guy, for real. Damn, who's King Mark in the chat? Why would he say such a thing? So, exclusive unreleased King Mark is what we have up here next. And this is very, very interesting here. Very, very interesting. Now we have Mark absolutely killing it with another, like, very King Mark standard style cover. 100%. Blasphemous. Literally, Cole. This goes right along. I would love to see all of the King Mark covers, like, lined up at this point that are in this fashion. I feel like they'd make a really dope collage. I really feel like that would be but this cover definitely up to the King Mark standard. I always look forward to seeing these now, because they're just so different and creative, and it's not like anything you could really compare it to. So, this is a 10 out of 10 for me already. But like I said, exclusive unreleased, and we have some lyrics in the description we'll follow along with. Mix is King Mark, cover art King Mark, Broad Quintuple, exclusive unreleased King Mark. Let's get it. Okay. Okay. Damn. Yeah. Dude, the outro, yes. Oh, the fade out is lit. That fade out is lit. What the fuck? Okay, see, I was like so into this fucking track that I didn't even fucking look at the lyrics because you know what? God damn it, we didn't need them. We just gotta take it in. But this was something. Like this was one of those instrumentals where I was like, I can't wait to see what Mark's about to do on this. You know what I mean? Like you ever hear an artist on a song and you hear the instrumental and you're like, oh shit, I can't wait to see how this is about to sound. You know what I mean? So this is definitely one of those for me. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of this exclusive unreleased King Mark. So, well, Quinn is not a producer that we've seen Mark work with often, if at all, especially here on the Music Money's podcast. So this could have went, a couple of different ways, but I'm glad it went the way that it did. This is a great instrumental to set Mark up for like a very like flowy kind of nice cadence banger. Like to be completely honest with you, like this is one of those tracks where, like I said, you hear the instrumental and you almost get excited to hear what the artist is about to do on it. So it's safe to say that Quinn did definitely a really good job. Um, a melody is absolutely shining star here. Drum selection was definitely great. Everything really complemented each other. But the shining star and the main character for me in the instrumental has got to be the melody, like without a doubt. So, instrumental, really great choice. Quinn did an excellent job. But let's talk about the vocals. Vocals here are great. I want to start off with the mix. I really like this King Mark mix. I feel like it's not as sort of like different than our usual, right? Like Mark has really been like honing in on the mixing side of things and really coming up with not like a consistent sound, but a consistent sound for like certain tracks. Like the mix almost reflects the vision, if you get what I'm saying. Like almost like the mix is appropriate for each song. Like and it's not like this like standard one kind of sound. And that's what I love about a lot of the underground community right now and a lot of the music monies community is a lot of people are just like going all out. You know what I mean? Like if they want to do crazy ass vocals on a, different kind of beat that they never touch, like and they want to make it dope, this is the kind of shit that you just kind of throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And sometimes it can be really, really beneficial. So this one is definitely a case where you hear Mark sort of like I said, not really having a consistent sound across all tracks, but a consistent sound per each type of track. And this was sort of on that, like, dream alternative trap, almost like trap pop kind of instrumental. And Mark really took that to the fucking field and was just like, all right, let's fucking go. And with the vocals, for me, outside of the mix, being really, really consistent and really like well fitting for this track, outside of that, the flow is great on this. Like the fucking flow and how it was delivered is really nice. You could compare this to something this time last year that Mark was creating, and this is just like a tenfold improvement in all categories, whether it be mixing, beat selection, cover art, like a lot of this is like a real, real big step up. So tracks like these are a real treat for, the podcast and somebody like myself who has seen this progression. So I do really, really enjoy this. And I spoke a little bit about it like a couple of weeks ago about making like a simple track, and Mark was the example because Mark just kind of cooked up a track in like one night, you know what I mean? Mixed, cover art, this, that, and the third. And we listened to it here on the show, and it was exactly like this, you know what I mean? It's organic, it's natural, it's fun. And this is another example of that. So vocals are excellent. Instrumentals definitely fucking excellent. Like I said, shining star for me on the vocals. Got to be the flow here. I love the way that this was delivered and written. Got a little bit of a swag to it for sure. So let's talk about the theme here. I mean, aesthetically, we've established what King Mark really enjoys for certain covers and really like you know, going above and beyond to like do new shit. It's not like the same kind of standard cover every time. Like this concept right here where you have two people dreaming. You know what I mean? And it's Mark at the top, like shit like that. And then like you'll have, the usual stuff you're used to, the font, the color palette, the photo selection. It's all very like it's new, but you're getting like the King Mark brand to it. And I think that's what's really dope. Really, really fucking dope. Now, let's talk a little bit about the overall theme. Now, lyrically, this track has a couple of different punchlines that you could really relate this track to, right? Like, I feel like this is one of those like play on words, and you really just wanted to kind of like write a song and really like get some thoughts out, you know? Or you just really wanted to write a song for fun. Because, like, I wouldn't say there's like one standout jump in your face consistent theme. This is one of those tracks where Mark's writing really just kind of took over. But in addition to that writing, I would say that the flow and cadence and delivery really knocked this track up like a couple bars for sure for me. I feel like Mark is like very comfortable right now with the sound that they're putting out, and I feel like this track right here is a great example of that, like a real great example of that. So keep fucking going, keep doing your thing, my friend, and huge shout out to King Mark for the submission. If you haven't followed Mark on SoundCloud, please do. Mark is 9 away from 160, great milestone. And of course, make sure you follow King Mark Music on Twitter. Mark is 2 away from 270. Also a fire milestone. Let's get it, baby. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And subscribe if you haven't already. We are approaching 80 subscribers. I believe we're like 7 away or something like that. So go sub to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you. We upload 2 times a week. Exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel, man. So make sure you go check out the channel and go show these artists some love. Let's get it, Mark. Let's go, chat. What a fucking yes! You're like yes. This is what I like here. This is what I fucking like. You guys are fucking great, man. What a pleasure. So, up next, we have a brand new Music Monday staff member. Staff designer Con Binnie submitted a track titled Serenity, and it's Rod Con Binnie by Con Binnie coming to Spotify soon. This will be a real pleasure because we featured Con Binnie on the Music Mondays podcast a few times, and Con Binnie really just has such an alternative style and such a really like just like a real genre blending style. And is definitely one of the more memorable submissions over the last year or so. So, let's check this out. Let's pop this open, and we're gonna see what we got here. Cover, I assume. Let's see the credits. No credits. So I'm gonna assume, I'm gonna take a wild guess that this was done by Con Binnie. Con Binnie actually just recently did the SoundCloud Sunday Volume 55 cover, which if you haven't, go check that out and go check out the cover art specifically. But Con Binnie, man, is just quite the fucking designer. Not too many immediate thoughts on this. We'll have to hear what the track sounds like, and then we'll refer back to this. But Serenity, Con Binnie, Prod Con Binnie, cover art by Con Binnie, mixed by Con Binnie. Let's check this out. Okay. This is fire. What? Wait, this is gas. This is real gas. There's something definitely special about this. I really really fuck with this. Okay. Let's talk about a couple things here. Let's break this down. Let's break this down. All right. Everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. We're gonna talk about this. So, talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, and talk about the overall theme of Serenity. So instrumentally, Prod by Konbini, this is definitely one of those tracks where you have an instrumental that only you could truly hop on and have a vision for. And that's what I love about this instrumental. Right off rip, immediately. It's just like it's almost like an obscure alternative kind of style instrumentally. So um I really love this for that because it's so impossible to sound like something else. You know what I mean? It's so original, it's so you, it's very like okay, like I see the vision, you know what I mean? Like I see the vision, like you kind of got something like very like fresh going on here, and it all starts with the instrumental and it's Prod Konbini, so that's really fucking dope. I love the originality in it. It is tagged pop, definitely on the alternative pop side for sure, almost dark pop a little. So I fuck with this 100%. Instrumental, great. Vocals, I love the mix on here. It's it might be rough to some people. But this is definitely one of those like artistic mixes where you understand the vision, like I said with the instrumental, like you're like, damn, like I see this kind of like this sound that is so like it can be like built upon and really like pushed, you know what I mean? And I just love this mix for that. It's just got this very original sound, but so easy to like see this kind of vision vocally. 100%. So mix is great here. I love the writing. I love the writing and the delivery on all of this is fucking well done, right? Like you could really butcher this song if you didn't like really properly take your time with it. And sometimes it takes like 10 minutes, but it's really about like the effort. You know what I mean? Like 10 minutes or 10 hours, they both got to be good effort, and this was like well done in the aspect of like delivery, recording, and really putting like emotion into this track, especially for a track titled Serenity. I feel like there was plenty of emotion in this. um so Shining Star for me is absolutely the delivery. I love that this was just so raw, and the way that it was recorded, you could just tell it was very like it just gives me that underground feeling. You know what I mean? And not many things do that these days. It just has this very like a different kind of underground feeling, and the majority of the Music Mondays, of course, definitely has that. But as far as like artists that you know we don't get to talk about often, or new artists or things like that, this definitely brings that underground feel for me. So let's talk about the theme here. Coming back to it, having heard the track, this is definitely perfect. I love the color palette. Definitely blue, sort of like regarding the emotion and things like that, and like the originality is fucking great. Um, the lettering is really fucking nice. Like, Konbini's definitely a very talented fucking designer, especially when it comes to what they've already done for the Music Money staff team. All their covers and project covers and pieces that I've seen personally. This is well done. Well fucking done. So I would absolutely say this fits the bill. Um, Definitely right up there, for sure. Really just matches, and it has this kind of rememberable kind of cover to it, right? Where if you were listening to it on your phone, or even right now if you are on PC, like it just has one of those covers that sticks in your brain for sure. So aesthetically, this is fucking really well done. The overall theme of Serenity, though, is pretty self-explanatory, right? It's a wonderful, well-written kind of track about Serenity itself, and really almost like what it takes to get serenity, and really like the trials and tribulations of the term serenity itself. But it's at like this kind of delivery where It's very like inspirational and motivational, and yet like has this dark aspect to it. It's very well done, and that's why I think the cover complements it, because the color palette itself was just well done, well fucking done. So, this was great. This is a great fucking single, and I am very, very glad we got to react to this. Huge shout out to Conbini. Thank you for the submission, my friend. Um, Conbini is 6 away from 80 on SoundCloud. Go show Conbini some love, man. For real. And of course, make sure you follow Conbini2004 on Twitter. 7 away from 440 followers. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We upload 2 times a week. Exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel, man. So, if you haven't, go check that out. Go show the channel and these artists some love. We are out here, chat. Let's fucking go, man. Outside of media, I think we have like 2 more audio submissions. Yeah. So we have 2 really good audio submissions coming up. But what I will do is, it's been a while, so we will take a 2-minute break. We will be going on intermission. So for those of you that are watching the show, are chilling, feel free to get up, go get a drink, stand up, go to the bathroom, things like that. And the Music Mondays podcast will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Music Mondays podcast. I hope you're well. I hope you're chilling. I hope you had a good break. But it's time to get back into it. So we just got finished with Konbini. Up next, we have the Homie Offspring Mysterious, but Offspring sent in a media submission, so right after Bloodcat, we'll wrap around to Offspring. And then we have some audio submissions, and we'll be good. So, up next, we got the homie Cole. And Cole is another artist, much like a few of the artists that I've mentioned here on this episode, that have just really been fucking killing it lately. And Cole's another artist that just works extremely fucking hard on everything they do. Cole's just been killing it. You know what I mean? The last few submissions have just been really, really fucking impressive. But this week, they submitted a track titled Crooked Smile. And mix, master, and art by me, Prod TDG. And I believe this is a TDG track. Yes, it is. So, art's pretty fucking crazy, actually. This is very, very interesting. Very interesting from Cole's usual, I would say. But still very, very dope nonetheless. I really like the concept of, like, it's almost like illustrated, but, like, has this sort of like realism factor to it. It's very interesting. But let's check this out. TDG, Crooked Smile, mix, master, art, Cole. Get it.
Yeah. What's important to me, it ain't important. What's important to me, it ain't important. Yeah, the truth, it ain't gorgeous, I will let me flourish. Yeah, I make this torture. Forbidden treats I eat so sweet, can't get enough, nothing's filling me. Got a mess that I can't sleep, got some stress, I can't sleep. Feeling weak, try to my knees, God I bleed, please oh please, get me up to my feet. Yeah, I did it. Didn't leave the feet, look at the light to my eyes bleed. Trying to see what it means, don't know what to believe. Yeah, the hate is supported by logic forces, plan ain't working. No wonder the weather's storming, and now I was a warning of inevitable doom. Losing the petals I grew, all that's left is thorns. I'm concerned, might take a turn for the worst, put bad things first. Yeah, left the earth and flew too high. Left the earth and flew too high, got burned. Left the world, didn't appreciate its worth. There ain't no shade for me, someone brave for me. I wanna stay and leave. Shouldn't have ate the plate clean. I fell far from the apple tree. Weak like Adam and Eve, lucky walking in this dirty, filthy, rotten what we call a home. I can't leave. Got too deep in a dream, trapped in limbo, miss when times resemble. Got too deep in a dream, trapped in limbo, miss when times were simple. Made too many ripples, falling down a trinkle. Took a trip and fell for tricks, yeah, I'm a bomb that tick. Short rake that blow quick, pieces won't fit, glue won't stick. Do bad things that give me a crooked smile. Keep them close to me, I'm wicked vile. Feeling like a sickened child, I won't grow up. 3, 2, 1, about to blow up. Steaming hot, can ventilate. Surface trying to penetrate. I guess I'll stay for heaven's sake. These lessons make a stronger me. Yeah, I make this torture.
Damn. This was very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's break it down. Let's break it down here, chat. So, we're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Crooked Smile. So right off rip, The instrumental is really, really fucking original. It definitely has a hip hop rap vibe to it, like it's tagged, but it has like this almost darker kind of sauce added to it. Has a little bit of dark elements added to it, a little like sort of I don't. It's slightly hard to describe, but um, it definitely has slightly darker elements to it. But it really keeps at the hip hop core truly. So the instrumental is really well done, very very original. Not something you hear too often, but still very modern and digestible for the average listener. So the instrumental really well done. I like the mix on it as well. The mix is very crisp, especially with the vocals. Everything sits really nicely. Um, and Cole definitely probably came in and cleaned up a whole bunch. So Cole's engineering definitely needs a shout out there. Um, so instrumentally, this was a very not bare bones instrumental, but it had a lot of canvas for an artist to really, paint away metaphorically with their lyrics, right? So I like this instrumental for that because he obviously planned to spit a lot over this. So with that said, let's talk about vocals. The description literally says what important to me, and the vocal mix right off rip, I definitely want to say is a fucking one. I love this mix. I love the reverb. This is definitely one of those mixes that we haven't heard too often from TDG. Um, they've all been relatively similar, but this one in particular um, definitely hits like a new stride for me. For sure. So the mix is definitely well done. But the writing here, like this is easily one of those songs. Usually, like I say with TDG, that you gotta listen to a couple times to really fully grasp and really appreciate what's being written and laid out in front of your face here, for sure. But is it a great first time track? Yeah, absolutely. Like if you've never heard of TDG, this is definitely one of those that'll be able to like really introduce you to like the style and really the sonic sound here, truly. So, um, vocally, I do enjoy this. I would say um the main star here for me has got to be the delivery, without a doubt the delivery. And it's really like the structure and format as well because it's almost in like this freestyle kind of flow fashion, but it's a very consistent track through and through. So this is a very like different spin on like really just spitting over a track, especially for the way that this instrumental is structured. I feel like TG definitely really like went above and beyond for sure. So instrumentally, this is great. Vocally, this is great. The mix all around really is very very tight. You could really tell that Cole cleaned this up and really upped it a level. This is definitely one of those tracks where you can just tell it's so crisp, for sure. So talking about the theme here, EDG definitely, you know, the track's titled Crooked Smile, right? And we definitely have almost like this crooked smile kind of vibe here. But it really comes in with this almost like Blair Witch vibe background. And like there's a couple of different elements here that make this very original and very like raw. Like you're not gonna see too much of this kind of style. Especially where it almost is like this illustration kind of realism style. So it definitely complements the track a lot, especially for the lyrics and things that TDG is speaking on. I really feel like this is a cover that you can take more serious. Not that you can't take any other cover serious, but for this track in question, yeah, this is a cover that definitely makes you take the track. For the overall theme of Crooked Smile, we'll refer back to the description. What's important to me, like there's a couple of things that TDG touches on here, and a lot of wordplay that are about some like serious and emotional subjects, right? So it's a really like um it's a really like simplified way of getting your thoughts out, but like it's also like a play on words and really showing off your craft and like how you can really describe your feelings and your events throughout your day-to-day life and in your past and your future. This is like that reason right there is why I say this is one of those tracks that you need to go back and listen to a couple times to really fully grasp and appreciate what's going on here. So I like this a lot, for sure. TDG is definitely improved, by the way, like a whole shit ton. So this is well fucking done. Huge shout out to Cole for the submission. Much motherfucking love. Make sure you follow TDG on SoundCloud. TDG is one away from 130, man. That's a great milestone. And of course, make sure you follow Cole Gerard on Twitter at Cole Gerard. Cole is 7 away from 40 followers. Another great milestone. Go show Cole some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 80 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, a whole lot of good stuff going down on the channel, man. So go to the channel and these artists motherfucking love. So, I believe we have one more audio submission up next. And this might be a first-time submitting artist, which will be really, really dope. I know Raw dropped a couple links down here, but Raw does not follow the Music Mondays homepage, unfortunately. So, per usual, like I state at the beginning of the show and every show, we never will take paid submissions for any playlists, reactions, reviews, podcasts, anything like that, written articles. We never have, we never will. Music Mondays has revenue and is growing in other places, and the reason for that is we want the community to grow, right? And we want to be a platform that people really want to be involved in. So we normally don't take that route, and we never will. So in exchange, we always ask everybody to follow the platform before you submit your track, to not only help grow our platform, but it helps grow your platform by interacting with other artists. And it really gives respect to everybody else that does submit every week. So if you're ever interested in submitting for the show, feel free to drop your links and portfolios below, but always follow the page before you do so. That's all we ask. So, up next, and this is a first-time submitting artist, Just Legacy. Now, Just Legacy is definitely not someone that has ever came up on my radar or the Music Mondays radar, for sure. Let's go check out their profile. Clearly in disarray. Lots of love on their recent project. Okay. I fuck with that. Let's check this out. Just Legacy, first time submitting artist, and they submitted a track titled Neo.
Been like weak shit since I even eat shit. Dirt piss poor, feel like do this for no reason. Striking chords when they singing that it's heating. I cannot afford to record on the weekend. Goddamn, what you want from me? I give you my all, so what else keep you going? See, I don't make it for the monetary currency, but I should be able to get it frying burger, please. Yeah.
Take a plane, everybody want $1, not entitled to their name. Got a problem, well, I swallow product, not to get the fame. That's a shot if you get hollow tip, I pop it, hit the brain.
Well, if I gotta do all that, why I want it anyway? Look, I see it like this. Let's say I take the shot, but end up sliding the miss. What's the repercussions? People here, they die for nothing.
Then they die with nothing, so take the chance to die with something if you really want it.
Neo, I'm the chosen one that's riding for my people. I can see him lurking, looking through the people. All the warning signs can't save me from the evil. Neo, I'm the chosen one that's riding for my people. I can see him lurking, looking through the people. All the warning signs can't save me from the evil. Dead to me, roll over, die slow. Bread give me, all of that I won't more. Dead to me, roll over, die slow. Bread give me, all of that I want more. Sell my soul for the glitter gold in the hoes that be front row at the shows. Why that man at home, I don't know. On what side I want, all the dough, you know how it goes. Conscious nigga making dumb decisions, that'll get you gone. Product of environment, therapist and counseling. Money only option, and I'm coming from a part that's meant to keep you there. We've been scared since early days, it's some change everything. family ties and wedding rings. I've been giving bread into my budget. House up in my mama name.
Damn.
Getting played, that's getting paid to play the game. Look, am I supposed to say the same? Fuck it, I'm the chosen one, I choose the fame. Neo, Neo, I'm the chosen one that's riding for my people. I can see him looking through the people.
This is tight.
All I want is sons can't save me from the evil. Neo, Neo, I'm the chosen one that's riding for my people. I can see him looking through the people. All I want is sons can't save me from the evil.
Okay. That's a fire first time submission, if I do say so myself, man. Let's talk about this one. We have some discussion here, man. I love this kind of like alternative R&B kind of pop sound here. This is a very like smooth, very smooth kind of sound. And it's so funny because, you know, these sort of submissions always come out of the blue, and they'll always be the most talented, well-rounded artists. Like, it's fucking so interesting. So first time submitting artists, just like, see, let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things. We're talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Neo. So what's really, really interesting about this is Neo is, you know, a play on a couple of different things here, but we're gonna dive into that in the theme. So instrumentally though, this is a really, really great choice, and sort of an instrumental that only a certain type of artist can really fucking kill. Like, that's really what it is. Like there's only a certain type of artist that can kill this type of instrumental, and Just Legacy absolutely did, for sure. The mix is very, very solid, very crisp, and it's just exactly what you'd expect with the vocals. Very loud, everything knocks. Not too clashy or overbearing. Just a very well-rounded mix for sure. So instrumentally, this is well fucking done. But like I said, kind of an instrumental where you gotta know your limits and what, you know, you can really do here. And Legacy absolutely fucking killed this. So I love the instrumental choice. Let's talk about the vocals here. Right off rip, much in line with the instrumental. I would say this vocal mix is once again really, really fucking well done. Let's just get that right out the fucking way. This mix is very crisp through and through. I love the way it bumps, yet it's very, very like gentle on, you know, say a first time listener or, you know, us here on the show. So vocally, fucking excellent. But shining star for me, without a doubt, is the hook. Like the way that this hook is so catchy and like very like, it's just performed with like, the delivery is just overly confident, and it's so well done. Like it's like, damn, like this is an artist that you know is settled in their sound and really loves what they do. Truly, that's what that hook told me, and it was just so well delivered, so fucking well delivered. And the writing, like I love the subtle bars and really like wordplay that's going on in this track, but it keeps it very, you know, much in the lane of like alternative R&B, kind of chill rap. And it's all very modern. So it's like, damn, like this is a great mix of like those kind of three things, but it has this original organic style to it. But like I said, the hook is absolutely a shining star here. I think Legacy did a really good job writing and performing that. Let's talk about the theme here. I mean, Neo, right? Before we go into the title and overall theme, let's talk about the aesthetics. This is such a simple yet well done fucking cover. And you know, we had the GIF here in submissions, right? Look at, so like, you know, simple but super effective fucking promo, right? Like, well done. I love the addition of that, and it's a very like simplified kind of modernized, but very like just original kind of cover, right? It almost has this real illustrative kind of vibe to it. So I do enjoy the cover for this. But the overall theme of Neo and like the wordplay on like being the chosen one and things like that is so dope because there's so many lines in here where Legacy talks about, being the chosen one or accomplishing goals or reaching new heights and, getting better and just really like a lot of bars and a lot of lyrics about that. And I thought that was a great way to keep the theme and wordplay going with this, but you're able to get a lot of those thoughts and, feelings out in your own track. So I feel like Legacy really did a good job coming up with not like a consistent theme, right? Because you don't like sit down with like a 10-page theme. But the way this track turned out, I feel like the theme was very consistent, Sometimes tracks just come out like that. So, first time submitting artist Just Legacy, well done, my friend. Thank you for the submission. Of course, make sure you follow Just Legacy on Spotify. And make sure you follow Just Legacy on Twitter. Just Legacy is closing in on 580 followers. Go show them some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 80 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of good shit's going down on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Go show the channel and these artists some love, man. So, that does it for audio submissions. Shout out to these fucking artists, man, and shout out to everybody that let us premiere some exclusive unreleased. You know what I'm saying? So, let's move on to the media portion of the show. One of my favorite parts, to be honest with you. I love going through audio and, media equally, but I love the new order that we have now because we get to move into like almost like a different segment of reacting, right? So audio is always fire, and then we go into media, and this week we have something from a usual musical submitting artist, Bloodcat. Bloodcat is an artist that you definitely have heard of on the show if you're a regular listener, or if you haven't, you're about to. Bloodcat has been absolutely destroying it this year musically. Is a very very active in the Music Mondays community itself as well. And Bloodcat is really just a good energy to have around. But this week they submitted something a little bit different, and it's a written piece titled "Blood is Weird," and it's something that I have a few thoughts of, right? Because I hadn't fully read this piece, but when I had opened it, I was like, "Oh, okay," and it really gave me an idea of what I wanted to talk about in relation to a piece like this. So, this is a written piece by Bloodcat in almost a short, poetic short story fashion. It's quite it's something. It's very very interesting. So, I just can't wait to talk about what I want to talk about, man. But before I get into that, let's read this and check out what Bloodcat created here. Bloodcat, blood is weird. Sometimes we start bleeding. Sometimes it stops. Other times it doesn't, and then we die. And then it stops later. We are still alive. A few days after we stop bleeding, part of us falls off. And then something infinitely smaller than us eats it, and it is gone. Sometimes we are in a hurry, or we are itchy, or we have a neurological disorder, and we try to take the part of us that falls off before it is ready to go away, and then we bleed again. Sometimes we go a very long time without bleeding, especially if we are adults, and if we do, not much. If we're being honest with ourselves, when this happens, we usually forget that sometimes we start bleeding, aside from regularly scheduled bleeding we have learned to live with. Children fall down more than grown-ups, and so they bleed more often, but they bleed less because they are smaller, so there is less blood. Children usually bleed from their knees, elbows, feet, and heads. If they are unlucky, grown-ups usually bleed from their mouths, noses, vaginas, and assholes. If they are unlucky, then that is okay. Sometimes children wonder why they bleed so much, and they never see grown-ups with scraped knees or bruised elbows. It's because grown-ups do not do much if they're being honest with themselves, and because most of them have learned to walk slowly, so they do not fall down as much unless they are crossing a busy street, which is ironic because if we fall down in a busy street, we may start to bleed a lot until we do not bleed anymore, and a lot of blood can come out in all directions at once, and then it's over. also scary when a grown up falls down than when it is a child, with the exception of busy street scenario outlined above, because grown ups are heavier and so it makes a very loud sound, and sometimes the ground moves and sometimes they drop things that they did not want to drop. And when this happens, instead of crying and holding it out in front of them, they will all get angry and they will yell and be a loud sound as well. And that is when a grown up is an adult and not a grown up. When someone is bleeding out of their eyes, that is very bad. When someone is bleeding, you cannot see it even when they are naked. This is also bad. Sometimes people smoke too many cigarettes and their gums bleed and their lungs bleed and then they are gone and it is over again. Sometimes people make each other bleed on purpose, but only if they are very angry. Sometimes people make themselves bleed on purpose, but only if they are very sad. Sometimes we have to give blood to people who do not have very good blood, and if we eat a cookie afterwards, and we have to eat a cookie afterwards to make sure our blood stays very good. Other times we want to give blood to people who do not have very good blood, and we learn that we do not have very good blood either. And so we do not go home with a cookie, and this is a sad day. Sometimes in this manner, we learn that our own blood is not very good. Then we must go to the hospital and receive very good blood from a very good person who did go home with a cookie. The cookies are not very good, and so that is okay because now we have bigger problems to worry about. But there's a very big difference between not very good and very not good. Most of the time, if we do not go home with a cookie, it is only because we are not very good and not because we are very not good. In the hospital, we have to bleed into a tube, and if we have big veins, the person holding a tube will say you have very good veins, and then we'll bleed until it's not time to bleed anymore because the tube is full. If we do not have very good veins, the person holding the tube might miss, and then we will not bleed enough, and they will have to try again. Do not go home with a cookie in either case, but if we ask for a sparkly band-aid, they will give us one, even if we are grown-ups, even if we are adults. People bleed a lot in movies sometimes. That is fake blood, so that is okay. They used to use pig blood, and sometimes they still call it that, but it's made of something else now that does not come from animals and does not make people sick. Sometimes these movies are fun to watch when we are children and fall down a lot, but sometimes they are harder to watch when we see grown-ups and blood primarily from the designated holes. Another reason children do not see adults bleed very much is that 2/4 of these holes are private parts, and the 2/4 do not bleed for very long, and they're to cover up and to stop. If it's not easy to stop and it keeps bleeding, we will go to the hospital and we will be fixed up. If we do not go to the hospital to get fixed up, it will keep bleeding and then we will die and it will stop later and then it is over and then things infinitely smaller than us will eat us and then we are gone. End. See, this is a very, like, this is why I was so geeked to actually sit down and read this, because you could go back for the last couple of submissions that we've had for Bloodcat, right? And the writing has just been fucking impeccable. But something here is, I read like the first sentence and then I instantly thought like this is like such a ode and like a reason why Bloodcat is also such a good writer artistically and in music. This is like such a really, really good example of where the descriptiveness yet poetic sense of writing really comes from Bloodcat. And this is really, really well fucking done. A piece like this could easily be published as just like a short piece, a short sort of like just artistic, just a very independent written piece, truly. And it's such a showing of skill here. Very well done. Very, very fucking well done. And I am very, very glad we got to read this out loud. For sure. I love pieces like this, and Bloodcat, like I said, was already a talented writer anyway. But when it comes to something like this, another avenue of writing where it's not in, music, it could be writing a story, acting, poetry, sort of like long form writing. This proves that Bloodcat is genuinely like a really talented writer and a writer that has visions, right? Visions of what they want to put out, what they want to write down, what they really want to put out to the world. And Blood is Weird is definitely that for me. And it was really just a big shout out to Bloodcat's writing ability, honestly. I really, really like that. And Bloodcat's been killing the writing game. So, with that said, a huge shout out to Bloodcat. Thank you for letting us premiere Blood is Weird on the Music Mondays podcast. Make sure you follow BCat Plus and Lil Skunky Raps on Twitter. Lil Skunky Raps is closing in on 60 followers, 9 followers away So go show Lil Skunky Rap some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 80 subscribers. Huge shout out to everybody that already has. We upload 2 times a week, podcast episodes, exclusive segments, full tracks, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel, man. So make sure you go sub to the channel if you haven't, and go show these artists some love. That was quite the piece, man. That was quite the piece. I was like, oh shit. Like, because like obviously I don't listen and go through submissions before the show, right? Because there's no reaction. But that one I was curious, and I opened like the first line and I was like, oh shit, this is about to be crazy. And it definitely hit the nail on the head and really fulfilled all expectations, to be like completely honest. Well done. Well fucking done. So, last but not least of the night and last of episode 94, Offspring Mysterious sent in SoundCloud 2,000 followers special uploaded on their YouTube channel. Let's fucking check this out. Now, Offspring Mysterious is a writer, producer, designer, and really just one hell of a fucking talented artist. This is an artist that, you know, I've always said from day one that if you take anything from them, take away their work ethic and their drive and a lot of the stuff that Offspring is really doing, man. Like, truly. Offspring has, you know, we've reacted to so many different forms of art, whether it be writing, digital art, designs, production, visual edits. So this is going to be something special. Offspring Mysterious, SoundCloud 2,000 followers special. Yeah. Look at that. Yup. Mm-hmm. He's like, ah, shit. I got champagne. Let's get out, Spring. Welcome, welcome, my friend. Let's go. We did it. 2,000 followers on SoundCloud. Baby. Let's go, Offspring. Let's fucking go, man. Congratulations. 2K is a great milestone. Wouldn't be possible without you. They're right, my friend. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go, man. See, now this was dope. This was dope. Like, just to break this down for a second here, like this was so cool. Just because there were all of the characters that we've learned through Offspring's submission and visuals featured in this video. We have Offspring production featured, Offspring editing, and commemorating and celebrating SoundCloud 2,000 followers, man. Like, that is really, really fucking cool. And I love that, like, just the fact that you even put this together is like so cool. And just shows that you go above and beyond for your own content. Like, this is a great milestone you should be proud of, and I want to see a lot more people doing shit like this. Especially even to react to it here on the show. Well fucking done, my friend. We've seen everything from Offspring, from production, like I said, writing, designs, visual art, edits, damn near full episodes. Just so many great projects from Offspring. And Offspring definitely deserves this, especially music wise. Offspring literally produces everything used in their videos, and just well fucking done, man. Like, so many good things that I really like about this, but like I said, the main part is the editing and the fact that we get to see all the characters that we here on the Music Mondays podcast have just grown to enjoy, and we've seen so many edits and scenes and skits of all these characters. So it's really cool that you came up with this idea to bring all them together to congratulate the Offspring mysterious kind of entity and really show that some love. So well fucking done, my friend. Well done. Thank you guys. I appreciate the love. Of course, my friend. Well done. We saw the growth here on the show, so 2,000 followers is something you got to be proud of, Keep working. Keep fucking going at it, but this is definitely a great pat on the shoulder. Like, a really great milestone you'll be able to remember, especially if you keep climbing. You'll be good to go, man. 2,000 followers. Well fucking done, bro. Well done. Let's go. Cannot wait to see where Offspring comes in 2023, my friends. Cannot wait. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Offspring Mysterious YouTube channel. Offspring is 5 away from 100 subscribers. Go show Offspring some love on YouTube. And of course, make sure you follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. Offspring is approaching 890. One away, man. One away from 890 followers. Go show Offspring some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 80 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel. Make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. Well fucking done tonight, chat. Congratulations, Offspring, for 2K. That's a fucking fire-ass milestone, and I'm glad we got to see that. And huge shout out to all of our audio submissions. Huge shout out to Bloodcat for letting us premiere that writing piece. Everybody else who let us listen to exclusive hosted tracks. Well fucking done, man. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight. You guys did amazing, honestly. Top 3 will be live after the show ends per usual, so be on the lookout for that. Time to aim for 3,000. Damn right, Offspring. You're goddamn right. Time to aim for 3,000. You got that all day. Just keep doing what you're doing, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing. You got that all day. 3K is in the bag, I promise. This time next year, you'll be celebrating 3K. For sure. Keep doing what you're doing. 100%. 100%. But yeah, like I said, huge shout out to everybody that submitted. Huge shout out to Epsono, Thomas, Bloodcat, Mark, Conbini, Offspring, Cole, Just Legacy, everybody else that lurked and chilled in the chat as well. Everybody else that tuned in. Huge shout out to Mark, Cole, Offspring, everybody else that lurked and chilled. Thank you for supporting the show. You guys are amazing. Per usual, we'll be live next week for episode 95. We are 5 episodes away from the big hundo, man. 5 episodes away from the big hundo. That is gonna be fucking impressive. I gave you guys quite a few updates throughout the beginning of the show. Look out for more details on the Music Mondays Awards. We'll be catching up on all of our monthly content. Underground Classics, Dose at Daybreak, In Case You Missed It Monthly, SoundCloud Sunday, the podcast, Feature Friday, Workshop Wednesday. A whole lot of really good content to finish out the year. So I hope you guys are ready. But the big one is the Music Mondays Awards. Expect a lot of details on that. And Ryuki, welcome, my friend. I appreciate you stopping by. Episode 100 would be like a holiday. You're damn right, my friend. You're damn right. Welcome. I hope you're well. And thank you for stopping by. And huge shout out to everybody else that did come through, lurk and chill. That about does it for episode 94. Like I said, the top 3 artists from tonight's episode will be tweeted after the show goes off air. And we'll be live next week for episode 95. If you're interested in submitting anything, whether it be music, digital art, fashion, music videos, instrumentals, things like that, submissions open for episode 95 tomorrow. So make sure you're following All Music Mondays on Twitter if you aren't already. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 95. Make sure you follow All Music Mondays on pretty much all platforms, Twitter, all socials. You can follow me at ZomSlays on all socials. You can follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below, all the good socials. We're live every damn day of the week, to be honest with you. But every week we do the Music Mondays podcast, and lots of really, really dope live recorded events are featured here on the channel. So follow Music Mondays if you haven't already, damn it. And like I said, thank you for 70 subscribers on the main channel. That was a really, really interesting milestone that I was pushing for, man. I was pushing for. So you guys are really, really much appreciated. Lots of stuff coming in the next few months, bang out the rest of the year and into 2023. I'll see you guys next week for episode 95. Take care, be safe. It's been your boy ZomSlays. I love you. I'll see you next week.